My hubby and I are trying lots of new things lately. He wants to try the entire buffet to figure out just what we like and we don't. Each time we pick out something new, we learn about it as best we can. I'm a book learner and I enjoy Googling new things and learning about them. He's more of a hands-on learner, so he doesn't enjoy the reading part. He'd rather me read up all about it and then give him the important points. I didn't mind this at first. He's still working on the vanilla conditioning and looking up dirty stuff is still uncomfortable to him. I know I need to be patient while his comfort grows, but the last few times I feel like I'm telling him what to do or how to do it, and I can't relax enough to really enjoy it. In my head, I'm going over explaining everything, whether or not I told him what he needs to know. I'm struggling to enjoy the new experiences because of the nagging thought that I'm topping from the bottom and being a bad submissive. I'm feeling a little bit penned in. I don't know how to get the most out of the buffet while still being a good submissive. So here's where I want to start. The last few times I feel like I'm telling him what to do or how to do it, and I can't relax enough to really enjoy it. I'm in my head, I'm going over everything, whether or not I told him what he needs to know. You're okay. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so to this point, Moon Pie, number one, if you're the researcher and he's not, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. That doesn't mean you're topping from the bottom. That is leveraging both of your sets of strengths that are unique to your dynamic, and that's good, okay? So I would say continue to do the research. If that's what he prefers, you're being submissive by doing that. You're being submissive if he prefers you to do the research and he wants you to come back with bullet points of what's important so that he can just get the knowledge that he needs, keep you safe, and get ready to play in an efficient way, then honor him in doing that. You're not topping from the bottom. However, I do see the issue that you're communicating, that you're getting in your head, and it's a struggle to feel like you're not topping from the bottom in the moment. So I would say write out the important points he needs to know and give it to him with an offer to discuss if he wants or needs. Okay? So this is I did the research. I'm going to give you a one sheet of the bullet points of the things that I think are important for safety, things that really stood out to me or intrigued me as the submissive, and give him that list about whatever you just researched and let him look over it for a day or two. Give him some time. And then don't sit him down and go, okay, so we're going to go point by point and I want to talk to you about these things. No, this is you are serving him. You are taking things off of his plate. You are making the research process easier for him. So give him the one sheet and then offer to discuss if he wants to. If he wants to ask you questions, then he can sit you down and ask you questions. If he wants to discuss, great. If he just wants to read it over, review it, and he's good to go, he's good to go. That makes sense, Moon Pie, so far? Never thought about it like that? That's a great idea. Wonderful, Moon Pie. All right. The second one, and this I just touched on, but give him a day or two or longer if he requests it to review what you give to him. Okay? Can this kind of document be written with more dominant energy in mind? What do you mean by that, Killer Cutie? Help me understand what you're trying to ask. So I just touched on this. Give him a day or two or longer if requested to review it. Because you did mention that he still is battling with a lot of shame or vanilla conditioning about looking up dirty things, whatever. So he might need a little bit of time to just process what you give him. Not that he's opposed to it, not that he's averse to it. He needs time to emotionally go through the process. I would say the really important point. And then third, for you, Moon Pie, and this is exactly what I was advising Strong in the last one, do a hands-on practice first without roles or DS scene expectations. Okay? So this is new to him. It's new to you. You've done the research. You've given him these bullet points. He's reviewed them. That is not the time to jump into a scene, because what's happening is you're in your head going over whether or not he knows what he needs to know, whether or not you told him everything. Okay. So I would say practice. If this is, if you guys normally were using just puffs, things like that for your bondage, and you're wanting to get into more rope bondage, some shibari, all of that, write out the bullet points. All right. Let him go through his process and get alone together and just do a little trial. Do a little trial. Do a couple little, wrist ties, single column, double column. See how that goes and go from there. He doesn't need to be an expert in shibari when you play the first time with rope, but if he knows at least 2 ties, then that's the way you can explore, and he can start building his confidence slowly but surely as your dominant. You can't do a scene in theater without rehearsal. That helps my brain. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly my point. I have a theater background. You block first, you block the scene. Okay, they're going to stand here, they're going to cross here, all of that. You kind of choreograph placement of the scene. You rehearse the scene, and then you execute the scene. He feels like he needs to be an expert, and that would really take the pressure off him. Absolutely. Rehearse before. Do not try to execute a scene, especially with a newbie dominant who's struggling with vanilla conditioning and some confidence issues. Oh my goodness. Yeah, give him a window to practice. All right.